These four young people are all employees of the Suzuki Motor Company of Japan. They're your colleagues, and they manufacture the same Suzuki vehicles as you do. They don't work in the same department, but they're all good friends, so they often go out and spend some pleasant time together. A Suzuki showroom. It's always good to see vehicles you've made displayed like this. We'd like to show you what sort of life your Japanese colleagues here have and how they do their daily work at a Suzuki factory. Of course, you won't necessarily recognize everything you see because our customs and manners are not the same. But after all, we're all human beings. We must have something in common. We hope you'll enjoy the film and perhaps talk about it later with your friends. People coming to work in the morning. It's around 6:30. Work doesn't start till 7, but many employees arrive at the factory 20 to 30 minutes earlier. Mr. Noma and Miss Shiono are among them. The parking lot is outside the factory compound. Japan has an excellent traffic system, and many employees drive their own vehicles to the factory. Commuting time has been greatly shortened compared to years gone by, but it's not because the transport system here is so highly developed that the employees come to the factory early. Years ago, when Japan's traffic systems hadn't developed so much, none of the Suzuki employees had their own vehicles. Still, even those who lived far away from the factory made sure to leave home early enough to arrive at the factory in time. Their efforts have borne fruit. Today, many employees use their own vehicles for commuting. Here come Mr. Furuhashi and Miss Shiono. People who live close to the factory come wearing their working clothes. In Japan, morning greetings are very important. Pleasant greetings at the beginning of a day make employees feel refreshed and close to each other. Perhaps this kind of sentiment is universal. Grooming before the start of work. The employees in various departments are required to wear specified work clothes and safety shoes. And they don't forget to fasten up their clothes, because it's important in assuring safety. In each shop, there are rest places where employees' nameplates are posted. The first thing they do as they come every morning is to turn over their nameplates to show the white side, to show they're in. Time clocks, once used here, have been abolished. Everybody reports to work at the specified time, And nobody is absent without leave, so there's no need for time clocks. Even without the time clock system, the employees' attendance rate is 96%. In this factory, they work on 2 shifts. The names at the bottom are those of people who are now off duty. Nobody takes a day off without leave. Mr. Noma has brought a letter entrusted to him by one of his colleagues. In case you need to take a day off because of illness or some urgent business, you can telephone the company, or else ask one of your colleagues to carry your message to the company. In case there's no telephone, you can perhaps ask someone in your family to go to the home of your colleague who lives close to you. All Suzuki employees are aware that their absence without leave could affect production at the factory. Their families know it too. What would you do in your country in this situation?
主人が具合が悪いものですから、これを班長さんに渡していただきたいんですけど。はい、わかりました。じゃあお願いします。はい、じゃあお大事に。はい。ありがとうございます。よし、これで全員だ。じゃあ体操やろう。
When all the employees have gathered, they take some light exercise to limber up their bodies. This contributes to promoting safety too.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4。
This is followed by a short meeting. The foreman briefs his men on work planned for the day. This morning session helps them brace themselves up at the start of another day's work, as well as foster a sense of unity and responsibility among them. A siren sounds 5 minutes before the day's work starts. All employees are at their positions, ready to get right down to work as soon as it's heard. Seven o'clock sharp. All production lines go into operation. Needless to say, if work is to start at 7, that's the time it actually starts. It doesn't mean that you start preparing for your work at 7. So the employees are at the factory a little before to make the necessary preparations. Mr. Furuhashi has been working at Suzuki for 3 years. He's now a valued employee. The workplace is always kept clean and orderly. Maximum attention is paid to safety under the company's slogan, "Zero Accident." Mr. Noma's job is to install engines. Like Mr. Furuhashi, he's also been working here for 3 years and now indispensable to this section. He has his safety glasses on and is properly dressed for his work. It's very clean here too. Parts have been neatly placed at their designated locations. After use, all tools must be returned to where they were, because they're used by all the workers in the factory. So use the tools with care. Now look here. Parts and tools are left scattered all over. You can't find what you need. It's dangerous too, because you may trip over something. What does your workplace look like? What about here? In Suzuki factories, even places for the disposal of empty boxes are clearly designated. Whenever you find any trash around you, pick it up and throw it in the nearest trash box. Try not to litter your workplace. Remember, no litter, no need for cleaning. All employees are urged to always bear in mind important slogans, such as orderliness and cleanliness. The aisle is clean, isn't it? It's swept every day. Over the aisle, a slogan reading "Let's achieve the target production" is hung along with an accident zero banner. The employees are reminded to make concerted efforts. Cleanliness is a very important factor in manufacturing quality products in a safe working environment. Work in the office starts at 8, 1 hour later than in the factory. But like the factory workers, office employees also arrive well in advance. The production manager of the factory and other managers also come early. Here too, the employees first take some exercise. And hold a meeting before getting down to work. Work starts at 8 o'clock. The production manager works in the same office where his people are. This helps him to keep in contact with his subordinates at all times. Suppose the production manager was in his own private office. A lot of time would be wasted with his staff constantly going in and coming out. That would affect overall efficiency. It's not only the matter of efficiency. What's most important here is that all employees, regardless of their positions or jobs, should work together in pursuit of the same objective. On the wall, we can see the motto which the company president himself wrote, Yaruki, meaning eagerness or enthusiasm.
Hi. じゃあ全体に関わるからね、各役員みんな向こうへ集まってやりましょう。はい。はい。じゃあ一つ、稲川さん。
The idea of everyone working together in the same office applies to the executive's room as well. Whenever some important decision needs to be made, the president and all executives can immediately get together to discuss the issue.
これはきちんとやらんといかんわね。それとやっぱり一番問題はやっぱりあれでしょうな。各工場から出すときに。
Because all the executive directors are in the same office, important decisions can be made promptly. How long would it take if they were all in different offices and had to make phone calls or go back and forth each time a problem came up?
一金ですと大体4000ぐらいの能力だもん。だからそれは一金でまずやるべきだよね。そうですね。じゃあそういうことで各部門よろしくどうぞお願いいたします。はい、ご苦労様でした。
Mr. Ito has also been here for 3 years. Wearing protective garments, he efficiently does his job according to given instructions. Wherever an employee works, there's nothing to worry about as far as safety or work procedures are concerned. Detailed procedures for all sorts of work in the factory are predetermined, and the workers simply follow them. They are aware that if they didn't, not only efficiency, but also safety would be affected. Thorough research has been made as to what sort of tools and work procedures should be employed for the most efficient and safe accomplishment of various processes. All employees know this well. In Japan, women are active in various jobs. Like men, they seriously tackle the jobs given them. Miss Nakane has been here for only 1 year, but she's already fully familiarized herself with her job and does it as if she were a veteran. For Miss Shiono, this is her 2nd year at Suzuki. So she's 1 year senior to Miss Nakane. She helps her younger colleagues as much as she can. Detailed work procedures are clearly shown to workers, and they all faithfully observe them. This way they can quickly learn their jobs. Special consideration is given to the locations of parts and tools to assure the highest efficiency. Do you happen to see people like this in your factory? Working with a cigarette in mouth? That's as sloppy as his clothes. Not only that, it's dangerous too. It must be stopped immediately. "9:30, and it's break time. The employees take a 5-minute break twice every day, once in the morning and again in the afternoon. But they make sure, before leaving the line, that they can go right back to their work when the break time is over. If you want to go to the toilet or smoke, you should do it now. Nobody goes to the toilet during working hours. And of course, nobody smokes while on duty, unlike that man we saw a while ago. "9:35. Work is resumed. Everybody comes back to work as soon as the break time is over. No one extends the 5 minutes to 6 or 7. It's quite natural for the workers to help each other. They not only do the jobs given them, but help others who are in need of help. By doing so, they themselves can expand their knowledge and gain new experiences. A company can be operated only with the cooperation of many people. One two-wheeled vehicle is made up of numerous parts, and its manufacture involves a great many people. Every component, no matter how tiny, is indispensable, and so is every process on the production line. We should always bear in mind the importance of cooperation. Perhaps you like sports. In Japan, tennis, soccer, volleyball, baseball, and various other sports are very popular. Teamwork is very important in all sports. No matter how good individual players may be, the slightest error by one of them often leads to the team's defeat. It's very important that each player not only do well in his own position, but also work in close coordination with the rest of the team members. This applies to our work too. The Japanese people value teamwork and are proud of doing their best for the benefit of the teams they belong to. This spirit, in fact, has been instrumental in the nation's development. The Japanese also attach importance to the skills and techniques they possess and take pride in passing them on to others. People who are learning from their seniors are serious too and do all they can to familiarize themselves with various types of work. So, whenever someone is suddenly taken ill and has to stay away from work, they can immediately take over without causing any delay in work. Lunchtime. Everyone works right up to noon. Nobody leaves his job even a minute before. Even after the production line has stopped for the lunchtime break, the employee often remains at work for a few minutes, if he has to finish what he's doing. This makes his work easier when he comes back 12:45. Afternoon work begins. Improvements put into practice in various stages of work are posted on the line. These improvements were made possible by the efforts of many people.
このトークンカードが紛失いたしますと、インプット、実績処理ができないということが。
The employees often get together during a lunch break to discuss how they can further improve quality. These are all spontaneous activities, and they report the results of their discussions to the management, so that the proposed ideas can be put into practice wherever possible.
ドアミラーになったらまだ。ドアミラーになってから取り付け時の傷が多発して、非常に困っている状態ですので。
Anyone can freely make any suggestions for work improvement. Suggestion boxes are available at many places in the factory. The names of the employees making suggestions are posted, so you can tell who made how many proposals. This is quite stimulating. These suggestions are collected monthly in each section for deliberation by a study group.
一人の人間が右側まで運んで取り付けております。彼の改善案によりますと、ここへシューターを設けて、この運ぶ人間を省こうということです。
Each proposal, no matter how small, is thoroughly studied by experts.
それって中にちゃんと費用ちゃんと記入してある。
それとかかった費用と、人が減ると、それとペイになるわけ。
Every year, the employee whose suggestion is considered the best of all is awarded a special prize which includes a free overseas tour. Many of these suggestions by employees are applied to various processes in the factory. The assembly of the swinging arm, for example. It used to be laid down and turned over for assembly. It's now put up on the revolving stand like this, making the work much easier. Here, brake drums used to be carried one by one, but now they're automatically rolled over for installation, an application of a very simple principle. Here, seats assembled on the opposite side are automatically brought over through the space between vehicles. This system, by the way, has undergone further improvements since it was first applied to this particular job. This is quite an improvement, because the seats used to be carried by hand. And here, a mirror is used to check the oil seal on the opposite side. There's now no trouble of having to turn it over for inspection. All these little ideas have contributed greatly to work improvement, improving quality and shortening working hours as well as making work easier. Shortening one process even by 2 to 3 seconds means a lot. It results in a considerable overall saving of time, enabling the manufacture of 1 or 2 additional vehicles in the same time. It's not that everyone is satisfied just fulfilling their quotas. They find joy in producing as many vehicles as they can. This graph shows monthly output during the first 6 months of a new model's production. At the end of the period, there's an unbelievable 14-fold increase. This was realized as the employees got used to their new work. Also, many improvements were made on the production line. This proves if you work hard, you can increase production. In this factory, four-wheelers are produced at a rate of 1 every 54 seconds. It means a daily total of 1,200. This high figure is possible only when none of those vehicles is found to have any defects. Each completed vehicle undergoes 130 items of rigid inspection. Even the slightest error by a single person in the manufacturing process can cause serious problems. Everyone is fully responsible for the quality of his part of the work on the line. About 3:15, employees on the second shift arrive. Like the early shift, these people also come to the factory 20 to 30 minutes earlier, and after some exercise and a meeting, they're ready for work 5 minutes before the starting time. At 3:40, they take over from workers on the first shift. The production line remains in operation even when this shift change takes place. This is possible because the people on the first shift remain at work up to the minute they leave. Whatever they're doing at the moment of this changeover, they make sure that it's finished before leaving the line. The supervisor is happy that everything has gone on all right. He tells his men about their work schedule for tomorrow. Before leaving, they turn over their nameplates to show the red side. There's no body check by security guards, which used to be made on all employees leaving the factory at the end of each day. Nobody violates the regulations. Like the time clock system, body check has been abolished. The company trusts its employees, who, proud of being Suzuki employees, observe all the rules and regulations. What do you think of this? When an employee takes a day off, his supervisor visits his home after work or on a holiday to see how he's doing.
どう具合は
もうだいぶいいんですけれども。
あ、そう。
あなた？
どう塩梅は
だいぶ良くなりました。
何倍かな。
It's natural for senior employees to be concerned about their subordinates. Sometimes they serve as consultants for those who may need advice on some personal problems. All Suzuki employees help each other as if they were members of the same family. A pleasant time after the day's work is over.
計算もできんだな、幼稚園に。もしかして幼稚園中退だな。だから謎を出したんだね。動物園でね。
ただいま。
This 36-year-old supervisor has 3 children, an average-sized family in Japan. It's thanks to the stable job he has with Suzuki that he can enjoy such a happy family life. The living standards of the Japanese have been greatly improved these days. "99% of all Japanese households possess color TV sets. 69% telephones. 99% refrigerators. 99% washing machines. 85% cameras. 81% bicycles. 33% motorcycles. And 63% four-wheeled vehicles. But it's not that Japan has always been so affluent. The country was defeated in World War II and was under US occupation for years. The land had been devastated. Food and clothing were scarce. But the people lived through the hardships, doing everything they could for the reconstruction of their country. They cultivated their ruined land and built their houses. Japan is a small country with limited natural resources, so it was all the more necessary for people to work hard together. Boom. Suzuki has 29 plants in 22 countries where it's rendering its technical guidance. We are all good friends who produce the same vehicles. Let's go forward together to produce value-packed products and secure happiness for all of us.